The late 1960s in Northern California were painted with the strokes of fear. A specter haunted the idyllic landscapes, leaving behind a trail of blood and unanswered questions. This was the era of the Zodiac Killer, a name that would become synonymous with terror, mystery, and enduring fascination. His hunting ground was the San Francisco Bay Area, where he preyed on young couples, their lives brutally cut short. The Zodiac Killer wasn't content with just murder. He craved recognition, notoriety. He taunted authorities, sending cryptic letters and ciphers to local newspapers. These messages became his calling card, each one adding another layer to the enigma. The public was captivated and terrified in equal measure. His reign of terror began in December 1968 and seemingly ended in October 1969. However, the psychological impact of his crimes lingered. The Zodiac Killer left an indelible mark on the American psyche, becoming a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of ordinary life. He was never caught, his true identity remaining a mystery to this day. The first confirmed victims of the Zodiac were David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen. Their young lives were tragically cut short on December 20, 1968. Parked on Lake Herman Road, a lover's lane in Benicia, they became the targets of a cold-blooded attack. David was found dead in the car, shot multiple times. Betty Lou was discovered a short distance away, also fatally shot. The brutality of the crime shocked the community. It was a stark departure from the peace and tranquility that characterized the area. Months later, another attack would further solidify the reign of terror. On July 4, 1969, Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau were enjoying a romantic evening at the Blue Rock Springs Park in Vallejo. A car pulled up beside them, gunshots shattered the night, Darlene was killed instantly. Michael, though seriously wounded, miraculously survived the attack. His testimony provided crucial details for the investigation. He described the assailant as a heavy-set man wearing a hooded executioner-style mask. This detail, along with the seemingly random nature of the attacks, heightened the fear gripping the Bay Area. The Zodiac Killer, it seemed, could strike anyone, anywhere. August 1, 1969, marked a turning point in the Zodiac case. The killer, hungry for recognition, reached out to the press. 3 nearly identical letters arrived at the Vallejo Times-Herald, the San Francisco Chronicle, and the San Francisco Examiner. Each letter contained a chilling message. The letters boasted of the recent murders and included a portion of a 408-symbol cryptogram. The Zodiac claimed that cracking this code would reveal his identity. He demanded that the newspapers publish the letters and the cipher on their front pages, threatening further violence if his demands weren't met. The media, caught between journalistic responsibility and public safety, complied. The publication of the letters sent shockwaves through the nation. The audacity of the killer, his blatant disregard for human life, and his desire for attention horrified and captivated the public. Amateur codebreakers along with seasoned cryptologists pored over the 408-symbol cipher. The pressure was immense. Cracking the code, it was believed, held the key to stopping the killer. The Zodiac's thirst for blood was far from quenched. On September 27, 1969, he struck again. This time his victims were Cecilia Shepard and Brian Hartnell. They were relaxing at Lake Berryessa in Napa County when a man, disguised in a hooded costume with a Zodiac symbol emblazoned on the front, approached them. Brandishing a knife, he bound and stabbed the couple repeatedly. He left them for dead, scrawling a chilling message on their car door, "By knife." Brian miraculously survived the attack, but Cecilia tragically succumbed to her injuries. This attack, even more brazen than the previous ones, sent a clear message. The Zodiac was escalating his reign of terror. Just weeks later, on October 11, 1969, the Zodiac claimed his final confirmed victim. Paul Stein, a San Francisco cab driver, was shot and killed in the city's Presidio Heights neighborhood. The killer took a gruesome souvenir, a piece of Stein's shirt. He later mailed this piece, along with a taunting letter, to the San Francisco Chronicle. This act, committed in a densely populated area, amplified the fear gripping the city. The Zodiac killer seemed to revel in the terror he inflicted. He continued to send letters and postcards to the Bay Area newspapers for years after the Paul Stine murder. His correspondence was erratic, a chilling blend of boasts, threats, and cryptic messages. Some included ciphers, puzzles he claimed held the key to his identity. One such cipher, the 340-character cipher, has baffled cryptographers for decades. Despite countless attempts by both professional and amateur code breakers, it remains unsolved to this day. The Zodiac's messages weren't limited to ciphers and boasts. He made terrifying threats, claiming he had a death list and that he wanted to collect slaves in the afterlife. His letters were filled with misspellings and grammatical errors, likely deliberate attempts to mislead investigators. The Zodiac seemed to enjoy toying with the authorities, dropping clues that led nowhere, sending them on wild goose chases. His cryptic communication only deepened the mystery surrounding him, making it even harder to separate fact from fiction. Section 6. The Shadow of Suspicion, Prime Suspects and Theories. Over the years, the Zodiac case has attracted countless theories and suspects. Law enforcement investigated hundreds of leads, each one a potential break in the case. The lack of a concrete profile, coupled with the Zodiac's cryptic communication, made it nearly impossible to narrow down the suspect pool. Some of the most promising leads, however, focused on a select few. Arthur Lee Allen, a former elementary school teacher with a history of disturbing behavior, became a prime suspect. He owned a Zodiac brand watch and wore boots that matched footprints found at one of the crime scenes. He also had a connection to one of the victims, and possessed bomb-making materials. Despite the circumstantial evidence, Allen was never charged. Another suspect who garnered significant attention was Gary Francis Post. A former house painter, Post was linked to the case through a combination of circumstantial evidence and alleged confessions. Some of Post's acquaintances claimed he admitted to being the Zodiac, and a team of independent investigators pointed to anagrams within the Zodiac's letters that they believed pointed to Post. However, like Allen, concrete evidence linking Post to the crimes remains elusive. Section 7. The Elusive Killer, a Trail Gone Cold. Despite the tireless efforts of law enforcement, the Zodiac killer was never caught. Several factors contributed to the case going cold. The Zodiac primarily targeted couples in secluded areas, making it difficult for witnesses to come forward. He was also meticulous in covering his tracks, leaving behind little physical evidence. The use of disguises, such as the executioner's hood, further hampered identification. Furthermore, the Zodiac's letters, while providing insights into his twisted psyche, offered few tangible clues about his true identity. The ciphers, while potentially holding vital information, remained largely unsolved, adding another layer of complexity to the investigation. Advancements in forensic science, such as DNA analysis, were in their infancy during the Zodiac's reign of terror. While these technologies have revolutionized criminal investigations today, they were not available to investigators at the time. This technological limitation, coupled with the Zodiac's cunning, allowed him to vanish into thin air, becoming a ghost story whispered in the annals of American crime. Section 8. The Zodiac's Legacy, a haunting reminder. The Zodiac killer's reign of terror may have ended decades ago, but his shadow continues to loom large in the American consciousness. He has become a cultural phenomenon, inspiring countless books, documentaries, and fictionalized accounts. The unsolved nature of his crimes, coupled with his cryptic communication and desire for notoriety, has cemented his place in the pantheon of criminal masterminds. The Zodiac case serves as a chilling reminder of the randomness of violence and the limitations of even the most dedicated law enforcement agencies. It has also sparked ongoing debates about criminal profiling, the role of the media in high-profile investigations, and the ethical implications of true crime entertainment. His case continues to fascinate and horrify, captivating new generations with its chilling details and unanswered questions. The Zodiac killer, though a ghost from the past, remains a potent symbol of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of everyday life. a chilling reminder that some mysteries may never be solved. Section 9, Modern-Day Investigations, A Glimmer of Hope. Despite the passage of time, the desire to unmask the Zodiac killer has not faded. In recent years, there has been renewed interest in the case, fueled by advancements in DNA technology and the emergence of online communities dedicated to cracking the Zodiac's codes. Law enforcement agencies armed with new tools and perspectives have revisited the case, hoping to find a break in the decades-old evidence. Forensic genealogists using DNA extracted from evidence collected at the crime scenes have begun building family trees, comparing them to public databases in hopes of finding a match. The use of genetic genealogy has already led to the resolution of other cold cases, offering a glimmer of hope that the Zodiac killer's true identity may one day be revealed. While the path to justice remains uncertain, the pursuit of the truth continues. The families of the victims, haunted by the unsolved nature of their loved ones' murders, deserve closure, and the public, captivated by the enduring mystery of the Zodiac killer, awaits the day the enigma is finally solved.